welcome to So I Think You Should Fuck.
Where we think you should bang,
schmang,
Shag, smash, do the deed, bonk, get down to business.
You know, fuck. In other words, we are playing matchmaker.
We are 5 second-year journalism majors who are working behind the scenes to make this show possible. All of us currently attend Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, and our goal is to set up 2 students on a blind date.
They could already know each other, or they could be complete strangers.
Essentially, we are bringing them here and we'll set them up in the studio so they won't be able to see each other, separated by our trusty little cardboard divider.
We will then begin to dish out a series of icebreaker questions. Each round will get a little bit more out of pocket and dirtier to hopefully get the sparks flying.
No, but really, there's no pressure for our guests to be anything romantic after this show. How they proceed with their love lives is all up to them.
The goal, however, is that they choose to go on a second date, and for us to maybe be attending their wedding sometime soon.
This week's episode is our first ever and definitely not the last LGBT episode. Let's see what happens when a Cal Poly Mustang and an Oregon Duck walk into our studio for this next blind date.
With that being said, let us get into it.
And now that you know all of us, let's get to know the lovebirds.
Hey, I'm Aiden. I'm a second-year kinesiology major at Cal Poly. My dating life is kind of just like very casual, nothing like exclusive. Yeah, and to describe my dating life in one word, I'd probably say goofy.
Hi, my name is Drew. I go to the University of Oregon. I'm a poli-sci major. And a word to describe my love life right now would be either barren or desolate, and I'm hoping to find my match. So we shall see.
Oh my god. Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to our second episode of So I Think You Should Fuck. And the 2 hosts of this episode are Jordan Treble, which is me, by the way.
And I'm Sophia Pattison.
And sitting in front of us are our 2 very lucky contestants to be here.
Both blushing really hard
I know.
right now.
The energy is so great in the room. I'm excited. What about you, Sophia? Give me your thoughts.
I'm so excited. I wasn't at the table last time, and I feel like I'm
You've got a seat at the table.
I got a seat at the table.
Representation matters, folks.
Of course. Welcome.
Speaking about representation, this is our first LGBTQ episode.
Yes.
Period.
Everybody here is LGBTQ friendly and always will be, as everybody else should be. You know what I mean?
Speak your truth.
So the first segment is icebreaker level questions. They're pretty easy, pretty fun. I guess I'll just start with Aiden. What food must your significant other like or be willing to try?
Like New Jersey, New York bagel, you know, like Taylor ham, egg and cheese.
Okay.
Or like if you're vegetarian, not that. But like I don't know, I like all food, pretty open-minded. Maybe not a picky eater.
Okay. What about you, Drew?
Okay, so I have 2 answers to this. The first one is Thai food, because I'm obsessed with Thai food. And the second one is Mexican food, because that's all I eat. Is legitimately, it's either Thai food or Mexican food. So if it's not those 2, then it's not meant to be.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew next. What's your walk-up song? You know how in like baseball, the players will walk up to the plate?
Absolutely. I think it would have to be Man Eater.
Word.
Okay.
That's my pump up song. Like when I'm walking to the gym, it's always Man Eater.
Love that.
The pregame, Man Eater.
A little pep in your step.
Absolutely.
Okay. Aiden, what's your walk-up song?
I think you know it, but it's low-key like 7 Rings, Ariana Grande. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like, it gets me different,
Okay.
you know?
All right. So this next question, Aiden, favorite musical artists?
Like Aretha Franklin, SZA.
Don't you kind of have a special connection to SZA?
Oh, SZA went to my high school.
Oh.
Yeah. Not while I was there, but she got inducted into the Hall of Fame while we were there. And so she was like in our auditorium singing The Weeknd. Like just in
That's
our
lit.
auditorium.
That's
Like it was an
literally so
assembly.
lit.
Like
What?
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love her. She's so cute. So cool.
Drew, what about you?
So I would have to go along the same kind of route, because I don't know if I have many specific artists that I like, but definitely a ton of genres. Although I do have to shout out my girl, Taylor Allison Swift.
Yes.
because she is the music industry and she is timeless and she can do every genre. But also like shout out like Kate Renata and like Lizzo, because like house music I'm very into right now, and also jazz. Love jazz. If my partner doesn't appreciate jazz, out of there.
Some Lana Del Rey. Might just throw that in there.
Specifically the unreleased Lana Del Rey.
Word.
Okay, the next question. Just a little food for thought. Have you ever gone viral on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have both contestants giving us a very interesting look. I don't know where to start. Aiden, do you want to give us a story?
I've gone viral maybe like twice-ish. First time was like beginning of quarantine, like in 2020. I just did this little like silly little dancey dance. Like, I don't know. I was just like in my pajamas and like... I guess it was loved. It was like all the comments were like,
it was love.
Everyone was like immaculate vibes. Like,
I love that.
And then last year, this one was like way bigger. I had a pet hamster, and I was taking a video of like my friend putting him like in the ball, because we were gonna put it in the ball and then take it on a walk. Like, we love to take it out, give it some like fresh air.
A good parent.
And I was like taking this video because he was being hella like wily, like he was a goofy hamster, hella fast, so hard to grab. Oh my god. Yeah, and so in the video he like falls to the floor and lands on his back.
Wait, I remember. I actually
You've
saw
seen
this video.
No,
yes.
that every time I describe it, people are like, "Oh my god, why? I know this video." Yeah. And he landed on his back and just froze, like on his back, looked like he was just dead on his back. Like,
Please tell me he's alive.
he's not alive, but that didn't kill him.
Whoa.
Aw,
Yeah, that's another thing.
I'm
But
so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, R.I.P.
he had an amazing life.
How many likes did that video get?
It got 8 million.
8.
Like literally like 8 million likes. It was crazy. It was like 50 million views.
That's a great story. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Drew, give us your little TikTok viral moment.
Okay, so I've never gotten 8 million likes, but there were a couple of videos here and now that have gone semi-viral. They've never broken a million views, so I feel like that's a barrier I've still yet to cross.
You'll grow.
Yeah, you're
Thank
well
you.
on your
Yeah,
way.
yeah. But the first one I ever had went viral was, I believe, spring 2019, or maybe it was fall 2019. It was probably when I first started using TikTok, and my 7th period English teacher never showed up for class, and it was literally like a 3-second video of me just being like, "Hey, yo, the teacher didn't show up," and it got like 200,000 views.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
and then
that.
I had a couple other ones. Another really good one that I enjoyed was during the Trump administration when he was picking out a new Supreme Court justice. But it was roasting Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas because he looks like he's never seen female anatomy. And that got like 700,000 views.
That's
So
good. That's
pretty
good.
decent, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Assuming one day you will walk down an aisle, what song would play at your wedding that you have to have play at your wedding?
Like, Here Comes the Bride mom. Like, I feel like that would be hella funny.
7 rings.
17. First thing that comes to mind is this song Simply Beautiful by Al Green. I don't know, it just would be very beautiful for the occasion.
Okay, Drew, what about you?
A song that immediately comes to mind is Stormy Weather by Etta James.
I love Etta James.
Yes, I just like that whole album is fantastic, but that song specifically I need to have at my wedding. Or alternatively, in the completely opposite direction, Lights by Journey, because it was my first ever slow dance in the 6th grade. So, oh yeah.
Throwback.
What do you think should be yassified? Do we have any ideas?
I think I have an idea.
I think I have an idea. For the girlies back at home, can we maybe describe what yassified means?
I feel like yassifying is kind of like gaying it up, you know?
I'd say just making it really, really camp.
Yes.
Okay, but let's dive a little bit deeper. What does camp mean?
If you know, you know, and if you don't, get out. Yeah, camp is camp, and yeah.
But yeah, so I think that Cal Poly could be yassified.
I think it's on its way.
No,
to
yeah,
being
we are the
yassified.
yassifiers.
Yeah, we are well on our way.
We are yassifying it.
Iced coffee needs to be more yassified. I feel like it got too yassified. We need to dial it back, but then by dialing it back, it would be more yassified, you know?
Like it's too much. Like it's losing its like meaning. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's too much yas and not enough slay.
Okay.
Okay. Aiden, who's your celebrity crush and why?
I'd probably have a lot of celebrity crushes, but I'd say like my first one, like the reason I think my mom knew I was gay and like I didn't even yet, like when I was really little, like less than 6, we were watching maybe like the news or something. And I was like, oh, like that man with the white hair is really handsome. And I was talking about Anderson Cooper. And like he could get it. And I didn't even realize he was like gay, but he be in like the city, like going to gay clubs. So I actually like could fulfill my celebrity crush one day.
I think he's married.
Oh.
Yeah, doesn't he have a child?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
Be a homewrecker for fun.
Okay. Have you on my homewrecker shit.
Drew, do you have any thoughts?
Well, before I realized I was gay, I think my first celebrity crush was Miley Cyrus. I'm going to be real. Like 2010s, like Hannah Montana era, like full on just Miley Cyrus. I was like, I'm going to marry her one day. Like full intentional. Yeah.
I think it works though because she is gay.
PEMDAS.
Cancels out.
Yeah. Okay. What's your guilty pleasure show, Aiden?
Okay, so I don't really watch like TV or movies at this point in my life.
Do you have a reason why you don't watch TV or movies?
I've just like strayed away from it like subconsciously. I'm very like active. I love being outside. I'll watch like a movie or a show like at night if like the people I'm hanging out with are doing it. Maybe I'll smoke and watch something. Oh, I loved Pretty Little Liars when I was younger. Pretty Little Liars was lit.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
Oh, I also loved Vampire Diaries. Yeah, so like in high school I watched some things, you know.
Drew, please. What is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Okay, so the entire genre of like adult animation, like Bob's Burgers, Archer, like, I mean, even throw in like Big Mouth on Netflix, even though that it has no substance whatsoever. I just absolutely can like get addicted to those shows. And they're like, I mean, even like going back and like watching shows from my childhood, like Regular Show or like Adventure Time, I'm obsessed with. And like, I'm the type of person who always has to have like some kind of background noise on, especially like when I'm doing homework. So I know I'm like not being as productive as I could be if it was like silent and if I was like fully just like focused on a task at hand. But like, I think I do my best work when I have like a show on in the background, because then I'll like laugh and then like write a paragraph and then like laugh and then write a paragraph, you know?
I'm dead.
So the next question is, what is your best pickup line?
And give it full force. Like,
Please.
I mean, I'm more of a winker. Like, I'd be just like winking, like hella. Like hella. Do you have a pickup line, Drew?
I'm really not that kind of like pickup line type of guy, because I always feel like I wait for the other guy to make the first move and then I reciprocate whatever the energy is, you know?
I feel like with like gay guys, I feel like pickup lines are way less of a thing because like they're oftentimes more forward. I know like in my experience, it's usually like, hey, you're cute. Like, I don't know, like it kind of gets right in there.
I can confirm that that is true. And also because straight men are corny and they love pickup lines.
all right, so that was our first segment, which was icebreakers. And next we have a fun little game planned for you guys. But before we get into that, maybe we have a little refresher of our setup for the audience.
So there's a lovely little piece of styrofoam that's sitting in between Drew and Aiden. So they actually can't see each other. They're just looking into a white little wall almost. And it's sitting in the middle of the table with the tablecloth. And then at the edge of the table are me and Sophia. And we can see both of them. They can see us, but they just can't see each other. Okay, so for the second segment, we're going to do 2 truths and a lie. So we're going to have both contestants maybe brainstorm for the next 60 seconds about what your 2 truths and a lie are. And we're going to take a little bit of a back seat on this one and watch it all go down.
Okay, I think I've got my 3.
Okay.
Okay,
I think we
perfect.
both have the 3.
Have you guys played this game before?
Yes.
Okay. For those that don't know the game, 2 truths and a lie, each contestant is going to state 2 truths about themselves and a singular lie, and the other person is going to guess which one is the lie.
All right. So, Aiden, would you like to go first?
Sure. 2 truths and a lie. I have an adopted brother. I have 0 pets. And Serena Williams has yelled at me.
What did Serena Williams yell at you?
Wait, now I'm trying to remember.
Trying to remember or falsify?
I don't remember the exact words, but because it was traumatic. Oh my God. No, I know the exact words. She said, focus. She said it just like that. And she just said that. She was like, focus.
Like with that intonation and everything?
Mm-hmm. That was
you know what? That would be traumatic. I believe that. Okay. So you definitely have a pet because that's the lie.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, I have a couple.
Drew, what about you? 2
Okay,
truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie. Okay. I have 2 yellow labs named Timmy and Lucy. When I was in kindergarten, I broke my wrist, and then my mom didn't take me to the doctor for a month because she didn't believe that it was broken. Sorry, Mom. I love you. I know it was an accident. I've been a swim coach for the last 6 years.
What was the first one again?
I have 2 yellow labs named Timmy and Lucy.
I feel like that's not true.
Why do you think that?
Are their names really Timmy and Lucy?
Well, it's Timothy, but yeah.
Okay. So that's true.
Well, is that your final guess? Are you going to waste it on the first one?
So you say you were a swim coach. You've been a swim coach for the last 6 years?
Continually. I'm going to be one this summer.
I'm going to say it's the one with the dogs. Timmy and Lucy.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, word?
Yeah. No, I only have 1 yellow lab and her name is Lucy.
Okay, word. I knew Timothy was like way too sus. Like,
no one names their dog.
No, I know.
I should have chosen a more dog name.
You were so quick to be like, yeah, it's for Timothy. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
We both chose animal lies. What does that say about us? Can we have a psych major come in?
Word.
I'll give someone a call.
New segment.
All right. Well, great job, everyone. I feel like I learned a lot about you guys. So now we're going to go on to the 3rd segment, which is
Gay or straight?
Word.
Gay or straight is a new segment that I think we're going to try out with
The gays.
the gays.
With the gays.
Specifically, we are going to list a random object, item, or person, I guess a noun, and you guys decide if they are gay or straight.
Do we have to decide this together, like a consensus?
You can, or you can agree to disagree.
Okay, interesting.
first one, pillows.
Straight.
Gay.
Listen.
The more pillows, the gayer.
Okay, you know what? I can get behind that, yeah.
So like the less pillows.
1 pillow, straight. 2 pillows, straight. 3 pillows, bye.
Literally.
4 pillows, that's a homosexual.
Love. Okay.
Yeah.
Flannels.
Straight.
Gay.
Vests.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit.
Gay.
Gay.
Cats.
Straight.
Straight, yeah.
I'm also deathly allergic to cats. I just would like to know.
I'm allergic to cats as well.
Do you get anaphylaxis? Yeah, I get
don't
anaphylaxis.
Get anaphylaxis. Just some puffy little nose and eyes.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Prius.
Gay.
Straight.
Controversial.
Why? The gas mileage is so gay.
Chapstick.
Gay.
Straight.
This is so interesting.
Like, okay, listen, it's for the gay community, yes, but is it appropriated by the straights? Absolutely.
Chapstick is appropriated by the straight.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Gay. Listen, he might have a wife, but that dude, except the ass.
Yo, but like Facebook is so straight to me. Like,
No, absolutely.
Mhm.
His product is straight.
Britney Spears.
Gay.
Gay.
Okay. I'm so glad we can agree with one.
Bye. If I said straight, like
I would have had a few question marks.
I think I would have had to walk.
Walk back to Eugene, actually.
take the bus.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Black coffee.
Straight.
Yeah. Chest hair.
Okay, in general, straight, but like, can it be gay? Uh-huh.
Like, I love me some chest hair, but like, I don't know, straight?
Dictionaries.
Gay.
Yeah. Iced tea.
Gay.
Okay, it depends on the setting though. Cause like cute little cafe, coffee shop, boom, gay. But like deep south, straight.
Yeah. San Luis Obispo.
Straight.
It's a bummer.
It's like it's like bi-curious.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the best way to put it. Okay, so now we are going to our fourth segment, right?
Yeah.
Number 4. And it's icebreaker, but level 2 this time. We're not on level 1. We're on level 2.
A little deeper.
Level 2.
Okay, Sophia, would you do the honors?
Yeah. Okay, I'll start with you, Drew.
Okay.
What's your biggest red flag?
That's a good question because I'm perfect. But I would say I get attached pretty easily. I will say that. So that means like I expect like a lot of communication out of people and just like a lot of reciprocation pretty fast. It's not always, but I would say that's a pretty big red flag.
Okay, thank you for the honesty. Aiden?
So this red flag, I feel like I've been like, the older I get, the more I channel it and kind of embrace it. I don't know. It's kind of weird and like obscure, but I tend to be kind of like a homewrecker, which is kind of whack. And it's not even like so on purpose. It's kind of like a subconscious thing, but it's like,
Did you say that you channeled that?
I'm low-key like fine with it at this point. Like, I don't know. A lot of the times if there's like a gay couple and I like if I find them attractive, like, or like maybe I don't wreck the home, but like
It gets messy.
I insert myself somehow, or like I'm there when the breakup occurs and like we'll hook up with both of them and like be the first person both of them hook up with. Like, that's like happened.
You're like therapy for them.
You're doing charity work.
It's not all on purpose,
It's
though.
not all on purpose. It's a really weird, like, strange occurrence that keeps happening.
Is it?
I don't know. It might be like on purpose subconsciously. It's weird. I like haven't figured it out.
So I'll get back to you when I'm out of a breakup. Then, I
Yes.
guess. Okay.
Okay. Question. Have you ever been in a love triangle before?
Yeah, that. Actually, I've been in a love, like, square, I guess. I had a boyfriend last year, and we broke up, like, beginning of the summer. And this year, I started hooking up with this guy. And then soon after, my boyfriend started hooking up with his roommate and best friend. And I also hooked up with that said roommate when I was in an open relationship with the boyfriend I was with. So I had, like, hooked up with all of them.
Covered all of your bases.
And then we would like see each other at the other house, and we are not civil at all.
Oh
and
my God.
It's just like really weird and messy.
Or just accusations.
No, the hands were almost thrown. Like, I got really drunk the night like I found out he was hooking up with the like roommate, because I was like, bruh, like he's like, this is so annoying. That night, like, I went to this party that I knew he was going to be at. Like, it was at my house. And I was like, yo, like, I went in thinking, yo, I'm going to slap him. Like, and that was the energy I brought in. And then, but I was drunk, and then I just, like, started crying and shit. And then, like, and literally both of our boys pulled up at the same moment while I was, like, in my room crying, and, like, all four of us all of a sudden were in this room that it was just me and my girls comforting me. And I just, like, quickly wiped away all my tears and, like...
That is good.
Yeah.
That's funny because that kind of, like, trickles into our next question with what's your worst hookup story, or, like, what's your worst date story? But I feel like you've already answered that question for us, unless you have more. Okay.
I might.
Should I do the story of how I lost my virginity?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's set the scene. April 2020, I turned 18, beginning of the pandemic. I immediately download Tinder.
Word.
Because I'm like bored and horny, you know? Yeah.
As we all were during quarantine.
It happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
exactly. I'm a victim. Anyways, so June 2020, I matched with this guy, but he lives like 150 miles away. I was like, hey, like obviously got the conversation going, and then he was like flirting with me, and he was like we should hang out. And I was like, you live 150 miles away. All right, and he was like, yeah, anyways, I'll drive to you. So I was like, okay, sick. Why don't we go to the drive-in movie theater? So he drove 150 miles. So meet him there. I call him. I'm like, oh, we're here. Where are you? He comes up. So I get in the car with him. And then okay, this is the worst part. Guess what movie's playing? Zootopia.
Oh, I love Zootopia.
I love Zootopia.
I can't watch it anymore.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, so then I was in the car with him. We shut the back door and then had sex to Zootopia, and it was horrific. So that was awful. There was no lube. I used the only condom in my possession, which was a pina colada flavored condom.
God.
And yeah, so I lost my virginity to Zootopia. Oh, another one that just came to me. My first ever gay kiss was this dude that I was friends with for like 3 years in high school. And this was like a week before senior year. So like summer before senior year. We met up at a park. We made out for maybe a total of like 9 seconds. And then he was like, oh, I gotta go. And physically ran away from me.
Bye. Okay.
Like fully ran to his car and drove away.
Okay, so I have a story. It was this boy. We were in middle school. We were both in the musical. It was The Little Mermaid.
Aww.
And he was Prince Eric. And I was Flounder. We were both just like really gay. But like, guess, like it was middle school. So like you didn't even like realize it to the full extent. We had a sleepover like with someone else he was Chef Louis, our friend who was Chef Louis in the play. Like at night we were like all on like couches in like sleeping bags, and our friend who was Chef Louis was like I think asleep on the couch, still both in our sleeping bags, just like kind of like low-key humping each other like like in like 8th grade, and then it happened again like like
It just keeps getting better and
same
better.
sleepover situation, except it was just the two of us this time, and it was actually like freshman year, but like we still did not like do anything.
Is he
more than
straight
that.
now or is he
No,
gay?
no, he's gay as fuck.
Did you kiss or you were just
No,
humping?
we didn't. That was like before my like first kiss, both of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. This is kind of a weird one, and you might have to think, but also you might not have to at all. What's something non-sexual that turns you on?
I don't know if this is completely non-sexual, but like I love like the canine teeth. If they're sharp, I'm turned on. You know, like I don't know, just a little like
Vampire moment.
yeah.
Okay, valid.
Okay, so this is recent. This is a recent discovery, but
Okay.
gingers.
Oh.
Like, I never thought about gingers in that way because, like, they're gingers. And I'm sorry to the ginger community. I'm really sorry.
I'm dead.
But, like, recently I've been like, wait, gingers are kind of fine.
There's like a saying, and it's like gingers are either like 1s or 10s. Like there's no in between.
Next question. Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay, so I was about to be like, I'm pretty versatile, because I am, but like I'm more of a bottom.
Okay, so basically we're just asking, how do you picture the other person to look like? And we want you guys to describe how you guys picture each other, but you can't give away like whether or not what they're saying is correct about you, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I'm picturing like, okay, well, so there have been like some like subtle clues that have just been like coming through the door and stuff. Like I heard he was too tall.
So how tall do you think I am?
Like, I don't know, like maybe like 6 feet or so. Yeah. I'm like picturing brown hair. I don't know why. Kind of like brown and straight hair. I don't know. Maybe it's a little wavy.
Okay, go on.
That was all I had so far. Like that's like
What color do you think my eyes are? Just guess.
maybe they're like blue or brown. Maybe glasses. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I picture you too, also with darker, like brownish hair. Jordan's face is telling me that's wrong, but that's how I'm picturing you. I also think you might be pretty tall because your feet are like sliding under the table. And I know you've got good fashion sense because the jeans and the loafers, so that's a slay. I don't know what else.
Is it time now? Is it time to do the big reveal? Oh my gosh, it is the moment we have all been waiting for. Drew looks a little nervous. Aiden looks a little nervous.
Stop.
Sophia, how do you feel?
I'm so nervous. No, I'm fine.
We've been waiting. We've been actually planning to do this episode for probably about a month now.
Yeah.
Because
God.
Drew was planning on visiting, and we literally based this entire episode over when he was visiting.
Jesus Christ, you guys are sociopaths.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, Kaylee and Lauren are both taking out the piece of styrofoam right now. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
Hey.
Hi.
Oh my-
How are
I'm
you?
dead. Good, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Word.
Does the face match the voice?
Not really. That's not
Yeah,
what I was
no.
expecting. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I got like all
Cool.
the things wrong, low key.
I mean, okay, so I used to have kind of wavy, long
Yeah.
brown hair, but then I bleached it to hell and back, and now it's
I
curly
like
and
it.
blonde. Thank you.
Yeah, so Drew is sitting across from me with this like bleached hair, kind of curly, these dark eyebrows, kind of like greenish eyes.
Hazel.
Hazel. Yeah. No, it's a sleigh.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
not what I was picturing.
Okay, and now Aiden is sitting across from me. He's like
Word.
really light brown hair. Have you dyed it at all?
I like have in the past, but it's natural. Like,
Wow. Okay.
Or it's like the sun kind of makes it lighter.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So light brown, very curly hair.
Word.
Similar eyebrows. Your pupils are really dilated. I can't tell.
Everyone
what color.
always says that. People always think I'm like on Molly. They're blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. And he also has. I was gonna say freckles, but that might just be the lighting.
I like. Yeah, it's like you can't really tell.
Yeah. And a nose piercing, a nose ring to be more specifically,
Mhm.
so I know it's healed.
Yeah.
How are you both feeling now that you can see each other?
I'm feeling like it's kind of like a sigh. It's like
Yeah, it's a little bit more relaxed now.
Okay, so final question, I guess. Do you guys think you'd maybe go on a second date or hang out again?
Yeah, I'd be down.
I'd be down, but I mean, I'd have to do another 9-hour travel day. But like,
Mhm.
I'd be down.
Yeah, what do you like to do?
I drink a lot of coffee. I actually also watch a lot of TV. So the fact that you were like, no TV, I was like, uh-oh. I also like playing tennis. Me and my cousin play tennis sometimes.
Tennis sleigh.
Sleigh.
Aiden was a ball boy for the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm. That was when
Really?
Serena Williams yelled at me. Yeah.
That's when she yelled focus.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. I feel like this trek to make this happen, it was quite the trek.
Hope it was worth it for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is really fun.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Now it's time to have a little check-in on our past contestants. If you didn't get the chance to listen to Lily and Joey's love story begin, definitely head over to our first episode and give it a listen. We took the time to pay a phone call to both Joey and Lily to find out if we have our first ever podcast couple.
Hello.
Hi, Lily.
Hi.
So tell me about how your date with Joey went.
Oh, yeah, it was really fun. I had a really good time talking to him. All the questions were really fun to answer. Yeah, overall, I think the blind date went well.
Have you hung out since then, or would you hang out with him again?
Honestly, I feel like the romantic chemistry wasn't really there. I feel like maybe it was more of like a friendship chemistry type vibes. We haven't been in contact since. We haven't hung out or anything. I'm not sure if we will, but I still think he's really cool. I really liked him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Although Lily didn't see Joey as a potential suitor, let's see how he is feeling about the relationship.
Nice to me. How we doing?
Hey Joey, it's Jordan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for being in our show a couple days ago.
Yeah, of course. I had a great time.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you think of Lily?
She was cool. She was super nice. She was fun to talk to. She's a cool person.
Yeah, it looks like you guys kind of hit it off. Do you think there's going to be a second date?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think we were more compatible as friends and stuff like that, and not as much in like the romantic way, but she's a super cool person. I'd love to hang out with her sometime though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be sure to relay the message. Have you guys been in any contact with each other?
No, we haven't. I mean, I've just been busy with midterms, but I'm sure I'll reach out soon.
Yeah, no, you totally should. Any last thoughts about the episode?
I don't know. I had a great time. It was a fun experience, and it was just super fun. But yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to your midterm studying. Thanks, Joey.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Looks like this match wasn't completely perfect, but tune in to next episode to see what might be happening with Drew and Aiden. We hope you all enjoyed listening to this sexy episode of So I Think You Should Fuck.
Follow us on Instagram at SITYSF Podcast to stay tuned on when our next love story will be out.
Thank you so much for listening, and we love you all.
Stay foxy, fuckers.